Unusual, it could be time for a checkup.
In today's Compute This, why now is the time for a little preventative maintenance.
He joins us each Monday. It's always a pleasure to welcome Thor Schrock.
You know, that is a mouthful of marbles. You say it 10 times in a row, and you can really start getting some weird stuff coming out.
Too much
Yeah,
coffee.
you handled that pretty well, though, Nikki. Yeah, it was pretty good. You have these preventative maintenance checkups, right? How these work?
Oh, geez, show off.
Yeah, we usually do these twice a year over at the shop. You know, we recommend that you get maintenance on your computer every 6 months. What most people do, I don't know if people do this with the dentist too, but it's kind of like, or the batteries in your smoke alarms, you're supposed to change them every time the time changes, about every 6 months.
Yeah.
Well, you know, as people come in for one and then they don't, so we notice the first one of the year we're really, really busy, and the last one of the year we're not busy at all. And so what we said is, you know, this year let's just combine them together into one and do just one. And so that's what we're doing this year, is just one maintenance checkup sale. It starts today in all 3 of our service centers. But one of the things that I talked about on the radio show, and I got more social media interaction off of the radio show for the maintenance checkup than I have in a while, because we actually talked about all the things that can go wrong with your computer. And I sent in some pictures, because the biggest thing that we see in the shop that impacts the performance of your computer is thermal problems, airflow, circulation. And everyone thinks, well, you know, it's a big metal box, you know, or it's a laptop. I can feel air coming out the side. I'm sure it's okay. But what ends up happening is, as you go through the computer and end up looking at all the gunk inside, there's a picture I sent in that has it's a heat sink, and it has a fan off to the side. And in that picture, it shows you, you know, the fan comes off. So you look at the fan, and the fan looks nice and clean. But if you turn off the computer and look at the fan, where you can look between the fan blades, you will see all kinds of caked gunk and junk in there. So your computer's brain has a radiator on it. And that radiator allows heat to come up from the processor and be exhausted by the fan. Well, if you don't have any airflow between the radiator and the fan, it's not going to cool. And your computer will slow itself down to keep cooler. And eventually, if it gets too clogged, it'll just turn off. If you've ever had a computer just shut off, not shut down, but just you're using it and then off.
Are you talking about desktops and laptops too, or both?
Yeah, and that was the other big misconception. Everybody thinks this is like a desktop thing. You know, my laptop's fine, right? Well, when you think about it, you know, we all have dryers at home, and they all have filters. And, you know, you could do, you know, maybe a load of undies and not have to change the filter. But you do like a load of towels or sheets or something, you got to change that filter because of all that lint and dust. Well, guess where we use our laptops most? Now, they don't call them laptops anymore. You're not supposed to actually put them on your lap because they'll burn your legs. And a number of other health problems, but which we won't go into. That's for another doctor. Doctor, where are you? But basically, with your laptop, you've got people use them wherever they're at. They'll put them on a bedspread. They'll put them on the carpet. They'll put them on the arm of the couch. They'll put them on their lap. Sure. And when it's on top of fabric, it's going to pull that lint in just like your dryer does. And there's a little filter in there that will grab all that garbage.
Look at that.
Look at that. Look how dirty.
That is about a 50% clogged right there. You're not going to experience a huge performance problem at that point, but at that point, you're toast. I mean, that's a computer that's shutting off. The power supply can't get air. The fan can't get air. It's pretty intense stuff.
These are real pictures from
these are real
centers,
pictures from real computers. The other thing that happens is, as the computer gets hot, the capacitors inside will start to bulge. These are those little cylinders that you see whenever you see like a picture of a circuit board. You see those little cylinders that stand up like skyscrapers? They'll start to swell, and they'll eventually pop and leak out their liquids, and then your computer, your motherboard is bad. And if you have like an HP or a Dell, it's like a $400 motherboard. So preventative maintenance is normally like 80 bucks. You know, it's the cheapest way to get on our bench. You can come in, you can do it.
What do they include? What do you do at these preventative checkups?
Oh man, they take 8 hours. I mean, they're all inclusive. So first off, we're gonna start with the basics. We're gonna get all the dust and gunk out, and then reset that sealing, that thermal sealing your computer has, so that it says, oh, let me see how hot I can get now. Oh, look, I can get so much hotter now because I have cooling, I can run a lot faster. So that's the biggest thing, 25% performance increase from that alone usually.
That's huge.
So we get that done. Then we're gonna do all of the basic stuff. We're gonna test your hard drive to make sure you don't have an impending hard drive failure. Everybody thinks hard drives just up and die. They very rarely just up and die. Most of the time, it's a slow failure over time that you don't notice. So we detect those, let you know. Test your memory, test your power supply. We're going to inspect those capacitors. Then we're going to get in there and check for viruses and malware. If it's something easy that we can remove, like by pushing a button on a program, we'll just remove it. If it's something more complex, we'll give you a call and let you know what's going on. The last thing is, you know, we're going to go through and do the basic stuff. We're going to defrag. We're going to do your Windows updates. But on the radio show, the other thing I pointed out is some of our customers have our holiday specials from previous years. You don't want to defrag those. They have solid-state hard drives. So if you have any computer with a solid-state hard drive, do not defragment.
And sometimes you really don't know. You don't know if you have a solid state or what's the other one?
Rotating. The slow
Rotating?
one. The slow one.
The
If
slow
your
one.
computer is wicked fast, don't defrag it. That's the problem there. But laptops are so much more susceptible to maintenance needs than desktops are, that if you have a laptop, it's really important that you have, if you had a laptop and a desktop and you had to choose which one you were going to do maintenance on, pick the laptop.
Do the laptop.
Really.
It is amazing. We get checkups on our cars, our whole life. You know, your whole life's on your computer.
It is. It's amazing. And then luckily you don't need checkups on your cell phone. That was a popular question. So maintenance checkups don't do anything for the cell phone. That's factory restore stuff or buy a new phone. But right now they're on special for half off, and it's a 1 week only deal.
Okay, how do you take advantage of it? What do you need to bring in? Do you just bring in the computer? Do you need cables? What else do you need?
Gotcha.
Password, anything?
Yes, if you have a tower, passwords are important. We can remove them,
Well,
but
we don't know
customers
them.
get a little nervous when we just blast their security and beat right through it like a warm knife through butter. They get a little nervous. So we try not to do it unless we have to. So basically, if you have a big tower, you bring in the big tower. Don't bring us any cords. Don't bring us, take out your little dongle for your wireless mouse and keyboard, the little thing that goes in. Yes, it's actually called a dongle,
Right.
Mike. Yeah.
A dongle.
Take your dongles out. Drop your dongles. Bring your computer in. If you have a laptop, please do bring the power cord, because as I mentioned, we test the power supply. And guess where your laptop's power supply is? The brick on the cord.
Yeah.
So bring that in with,
They
so we
keep
can
that
use
outside
your
of the-
power cord
outside, yeah.
with it to detect problems.
Schrock Innovations, 3 locations, 2 in the metro. You got the Papillion Service Center, you got Village Point, and then 1 in Lincoln as well. SchrockInnovations.com is a website.
Yep, turnaround times will be great today. By Wednesday, we're going to be a few days deep to get your computer back. So try to get in today if you can.
Gotcha.
Excellent.
Good stuff. All right, we got a new Tech Talk bundle to show you. It's tailored to moms, but this dad would like to have one of those items.
First, the easiest s'mores recipe around.
Thanks, Thor.